Welcome to episode 12 of Raj's Minecraft Guide, and today I got a big old shulker box of TNT and I'm going to use it to mine for ancient debris to get netherite, plus I want to find a really difficult armor trim that is found in the ancient city. I usually use beds to get ancient debris since it is cheaper to craft, but occasionally you have to try different ways of doing things in case it works better than what you usually do. In this series I'm trying new things, at least until it blows up in my face. Oh, and it will probably blow up in my face in a spectacular fashion. For some reason, going into this, I wanted to try and be more efficient and remove all the blocks in a chunk. By that, I mean I want to remove all the blocks from the lava sea down to bedrock, but it's TNT and you can't really plan to remove all the blocks. It's kind of a bit random, plus there isn't much ancient debris in a chunk, so you're removing a lot of blocks for a few blocks of ancient debris. First, I tried to space out the TNT and work my way down in the nether using redstone to trigger it. The redstone idea was kind of a bad idea as it doesn't trigger all the TNT at once. I quickly gave up on that idea and just placed the TNT and triggered one with flint and steel, then moved out of the way as quickly as possible. One TNT would explode, causing all the other TNT to be activated. I did that for a while to see how much ancient debris I could get. I did get some ancient debris. It felt like it was more work than it needed to be. It felt really disorganized and random. At this point I went crazy with the TNT and really put it everywhere. I also wasn't thorough and just placed it in spots that weren't opened and tried to avoid spots that would have lava. Did eventually die because I accidentally hit a zombified piglin and then all the zombified piglins swarmed me. However, I was able to get 14 ancient debris out of that, and I'm going to have to head back to see if I can get my stuff. Luckily I know where I was mining as it was close to the nether fortress. It's kind of hard to show, but I've been mining all over the place in this episode. Basically when I get bored I just go to a different spot. After that I decided to do the old method of digging a tunnel at Y level 13 under the lava sea and putting down TNT blocks, activating it and getting out of the way. It took me a way too long to get to this point. It was going well for about 2 minutes, but then this happened. Right about here, I just absentmindedly stopped paying attention and blued myself up. I blued myself up really good. I did go back, but when you die in an explosion like that, it destroys all of your gear, so I lost everything. After that, all I had left was gold leggings and chainmail helmet. I'm going to have to grind to get everything back, and looking through my ender chest there was no backups of anything really. Luckily I have tons of pumpkins, melons and other stuff, so I can get the enchantment levels with villager trading. I probably need to get more farmers in the villager trading hall because this is taking way too long. I did eventually get all the enchantment books to place on the helmet. Guess that's step 1, crafting a lot of firework rockets as I need a backup pair of elytra as I'm only down to 1 and need to go back to the end for more elytra. I did a quick end bust to get some elytra and shulker shells as I can always use some more shulker boxes. I really wasn't very patient. I guess I wanted elytra and was hunting for the end ships. Also after the explosion I was a bit rattled and was trying to be really cautious as I was already low on gear and didn't need to lose what was left. Losing the elytra would have meant I had no backups and would have had to travel far in the end to find an end ship I hadn't raided yet. Here is the haul I got, enough for 17 shulker boxes, 3 pairs of elytra, diamonds, gold ingots, and a bit of bits and bobs. I don't know if I'm using that terminology correct. Oh, and an armor trim I'm probably never using. After that, it was back to TNT mining for the ancient debris. So somehow after all of that, I still had half a shulker box of TNT. I'm tempted to use all of it, but I'll save it for a rainy day. I did get 37 ancient debris. I had 14 before, but I got enough to make everything netherite. I did try the same tunnel TNT mining a few blocks above, but it just blew holes into the lava sea and caused lava to stream down. I could have learned my lesson then, but I did it a little longer before I gave up. Back at my base, I smelted the ancient debris down to get netherite scrap, crafted the netherite scrap with the little amount of gold I had with the gold ingots to get netherite ingots. With the netherite ingots, all I needed was a netherite upgrade, which you can only find in the Bastion Remnant. The best spot to find it is in the treasure room Bastion Remnant, as it has a 100% chance to be in there. I found a strider and used a warp fungus on a stick to ride them. I took my lava boat and I just looked around for a treasure room. The treasure room is different from the other three bastions, as they have a large cube structure where there will be magma cube spawners, some chests, and walkways above lava. It's definitely hard to spot one, but I was lucky as the first one I came upon was a treasure room. It being a crimson forest isn't great since the hoglins and piglins can spawn near or in the bastion. I went along the side and mined my way inside. Obviously you have to be careful of the piglins and piglin brutes. I made it so they couldn't get at me and fired some arrows at them. The piglin brutes just fell into the lava. Any piglins that got close, I killed them with my sword or knocked them into the lava. After the coast was cleared, I booked it to the loot area for the netherite upgrade in the chest, grabbed the remaining gold blocks and any loot in the chest, then got out of there. Then I just duplicated as many netherite upgrades as possible. Finally, I put the netherite upgrade on all of my armor, weapons, and tools. There's 4 benefits to netherite. It increases the durability by a lot, it can't be destroyed by lava, increases the enchantability although it isn't that much, and increases the armor toughness so there's more protection. And ta-da! I am finally netherited up. Now there's only one thing missing, and that is a really good armor trim. My favorite armor trim is the silence armor trim that is only found in the ancient city. There's only a 1.2% chance of getting it, so it'll take opening 100 chests in the ancient city to get one silence armor trim smithing template. Of course, you only need one. I did find an ancient city a few episodes ago for the skull catalyst, but didn't really explore it. I made a bunch of massive mistakes right away. This seems to happen to me when I rushed in and didn't go in with a plan. I was not really careful and was setting off a lot of skulk sensors really quickly. I also made a big mistake of flying around to try and get higher up to look around. Don't do this, it's a bad idea. Eventually I spawned a warden. Now the right move would have been to wait and come up with an idea to escape, but Raj decided to fly around like an idiot in a circle and hit a wall. After I've gotten all of my netherite gear, I died by hitting a wall from flying away from a warden. The only good part was I was able to find all of my netherite gear as I died right at the entrance to the ancient city. After that I just headed back to my base and let the warning level tick down so I wouldn't spawn any more wardens. After that debacle, I went in with a plan and stacks of wool. Wool blocks the vibrations of skulk sensors so they can't be picked up if you mine the sensors, catalyst, or shriekers. Also, wool can be walked on and there is no vibration. If you crouch, it also doesn't give a vibration that can be picked up. What I did was place wool blocks around the skulk blocks so that when I mined them, they wouldn't give off a vibration. Because the silence armor trim is rare, I was going to have to do this to most of the ancient city. This meant removing all the sensors and shriekers. Plus, I would try to keep track of how many times I accidentally set off the shriekers. You can tell this by the darkness effect in the shrieker going off. I didn't want it to get up to 4 to spawn a warden. If I did get it up to 2 or 3, I would just leave the ancient city and wait half an hour to go back. The warning level is global and takes 10 minutes for one level to expire. I did this slowly over a couple of days, just a little here or there. I did also find a swift sneak enchantment that I placed on my leggings that allows you to move quickly while crouching. This enchantment is great for building so you will not fall off the block and can still move quickly, and specifically it is useful for the ancient city to move around. After days, I finally got the silence armor trim. Finally I got it. I was glad, as the rarity of the slime armor trim could have meant that I might have had to go to multiple ancient cities before I got one. Of course you have to duplicate it so I can use it again in case I die with all of my armor, which, I mean, how often does that happen? I put the silence armor trim on with gold trim. I was just picking the color that would most stand out. I wanted it to be pink, but there isn't a pink color you can do, so gold it is. I guess I could have done purple, and here is the end result. Full netherite armor with the silence armor trim. I think it looks pretty good, and thank you guys for watching.